What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool news video where we will talk about Xabi Alonso and why he is the outstanding candidate to replace Jurgen Klopp as the new Liverpool manager. And Liverpool are already in talks with Xabi Alonso, his representatives and Bayer Leverkusen themselves to appoint Xabi Alonso as the next Liverpool manager. If you were in charge of Liverpool, who do you want to succeed Jurgen Klopp in the managerial hot seat? And Simon Hughes, a well-respected English journalist, has said that Xabi Alonso is the outstanding candidate. And not only is he one of the best young coaches in Europe, but he ticks the most boxes when it comes what you want from a future Liverpool manager. The most obvious one is being that he has created a team out of pretty much nothing in the last 18 months at Bayer Leverkusen. They are on the verge of winning the Bundesliga against Bayern Munich team who have a better squad, better resources, more money than them, and also more experienced international players. And yet Leverkusen are blitzing the Bundesliga and blitzing the whole season. Yes, they are only in the Europa League, but that was because Xabi Alonso took over Leverkusen when they were second from bottom in the relegation zone of the Bundesliga. He guided them to 6th place, and this season he's still unbeaten, only drawing 4 games, winning the rest, which is an absolutely outstanding record, and nobody else can match that record across Europe's top leagues. And of course the obvious links to Liverpool come because he has been a Liverpool player, he has been a Liverpool legend. He won the Champions League in his first season with Rafa Benitez as the manager, and also he has played at Liverpool many years, and he has been saying many times Liverpool felt like home to him, and Liverpool have the best stadium in the world. But the fact that he created a really competitive team against all the odds in 18 months speaks volumes of how good of a manager he is. Remember, Bayer Leverkusen are nicknamed Neverkusen in Germany because they are like the Tottenham of Germany. They never won a top flight title. They only have like 1 German Cup win and 1 Europa League win. And that's their entire trophy cabinet, apart from winning some second division titles and some smaller trophies. And not only did Xabi Alonso create a really top team, they are playing beautiful, attacking, expansive, possession-controlled football, and their defensive security is also immaculate. They have one of the best defenses in Europe. So even if you take out the fact that he played for Liverpool, he loves Liverpool, Liverpool felt like home to him, even if you take out all of that out of the occasion, he is probably still the top candidate to be the next Liverpool manager. With certain players there was always that feeling that you wanted them to come back to Liverpool, but Alonso was one of those that you could never really dream about. He was playing at Real Madrid and Bayern Munich, but now he could come back as a manager to Liverpool, which would be massive. And remember, Xabi Alonso never won the league title in Liverpool as a player, so there is an obvious storyline there of Xabi Alonso coming back as a manager and winning the league title. We always dreamed about Steven Gerrard coming back to Liverpool as a manager and winning his first Premier League title after failing to win the Premier League title for so many years. But Steven Gerrard is not a good enough manager yet. He might turn into, but I don't have high hopes of that. But there is an obvious storyline of Xabi Alonso doing that and fulfilling his dream, his unfulfilled dream of winning a Premier League with Liverpool. And Simon Hughes was asked, is there any chance that another club will come in for Xabi Alonso? Liverpool got a head start with Jurgen Klopp announcing early that he's leaving. He told the club in November, and I think that's crucial in the negotiations, because now that Liverpool know it early, they can talk to Xabi Alonso, they can talk to all of the other managerial candidates, and they can really do some groundwork on laying the foundations of appointing the next manager. And Liverpool need to get this right, because whoever succeeds Jurgen Klopp has a very difficult, some people call it almost impossible job. But I don't think it's an impossible job. You just need a great manager to come to Liverpool who can build a team of young players. And Liverpool already have a pretty great team. They just need to evolve it further with another 2 or 3 new signings hopefully coming in the summer in the centre-back and defensive midfield department. And Sami Hughes is saying only Real Madrid and Bayern Munich could compete with Liverpool, but Real Madrid are planning with Carlo Ancelotti long term. The last time I spoke to Xabi Alonso, Sami Hughes said, for an interview was like 3-4 years ago, he was at the beginning of his managerial career, and so he saw it as a long-term career. He didn't want to burn brightly in the beginning and then fade away. He has seen a lot of coaches take big jobs too early and then find themselves with nowhere to go very quickly. But with having all that said, the Liverpool job doesn't come around too often. And Jurgen Klopp knew that, so that's why he cut short his sabbatical when he took a break after managing Borussia Dortmund, and he became Liverpool manager pretty quickly, because he knew that if he rejects Liverpool, then Liverpool would have appointed somebody else, and there might not have been another chance for Jurgen Klopp to manage Liverpool. And I think for Xabi Alonso, it's actually very appealing to see him that if a manager is doing well, Liverpool, even if a manager has a bad season after winning some trophies, Liverpool are not too quick to push managers out of the door. We are not a club who likes to sack managers if it's not absolutely necessary. And that appeals to Xabi Alonso. The journalist said, if you make a success of it, Liverpool isn't going to push you out the door. So I think Xabi Alonso will see Liverpool as a next sensible step. He would want to stay a long time with a view to maybe going on to some of his other former clubs in the future. And of course, no one is going to begrudge him going elsewhere after that. I mean, if he comes in at Liverpool, he stays 5, 6, 7 years, wins a lot of trophies, then I'm happy to see Xabi Alonso going on to manage Real Madrid or Bayern Munich or whoever else he wants to manage in the future. And Xabi Alonso would probably prefer to first go to Liverpool and then to go to Real Madrid than the other way around, because the Liverpool job might not come around again soon, and he will get more responsibility at Liverpool because the managers tend to get that after a certain period of time. You look at Jurgen Klopp, he's pretty much has a lot of responsibility now at Liverpool. He's pretty much running most of the football operations, or at least overseeing most of the football operations. And Xabi Alonso is a smart guy. He realizes that, if a Liverpool job comes along, you need to accept it, because the Real Madrid or the Bayern Munich job, every 6 months, every season, they could sack their manager. That's not the case at Liverpool. Sometimes we have the manager for 5 years, for 10 years. It's different. At Bayern Munich or Real Madrid, if you are having a bad half a season, you are out of the door, no matter who you are. I mean, you can look at the long list of managers who Real Madrid sacked as evidence. And it's almost impossible to replace Jurgen Klopp as a charisma and personality, because he's probably a one-off. He's one of the most, if not the most charismatic managers, and his personality actually fits Liverpool, the city, and Liverpool, the football club, like a glove, almost perfectly, or dare I say perfectly. And I think the Liverpool owners are looking for somebody who commands respect and who commands the trust and respect of the fans. And as a player, Xabi Alonso certainly did that. And what he has done at Leverkusen is going to excite a lot of Liverpool fans, Simon Hughes says. Where they are similar is that Xabi Alonso is his own person. He has a strong personality, he has his own views, his own tactical knowledge, tactical playing style, and he has strong views about how the game of football should be played and about the way he conducts himself. And he's a gentleman. He's conducting himself in the right way, in a proper way. You just have to look at the story. Sami Hughes mentions how Xabi Alonso fell out with Rafa Benitez. Xabi Alonso had strong views then. He stuck to his guns, and he fell out with Rafa Benitez because he wanted to bring in Gareth Barry to maybe play ahead of Xabi Alonso, which I still didn't understand to this day why he would have done that. And Xabi Alonso said, you know what, I'm leaving. And Liverpool took a long time to recover from that. And yes, at the time, Xabi Alonso maybe wasn't playing as well as he can play, and he got a bit of criticism. Some people sided with Rafa Benitez in that story, maybe rightfully so, because he was the Liverpool manager at the time. But that story shows that Xabi Alonso is a tough person who is not afraid to stand up for himself and for what he believes in. And the reaction to all this news and rumors is very interesting in Germany. In the German media, basically they are in crisis mode around Bayern Munich and Thomas Tuchel's future, because Bayern Munich hasn't lost the first leg of the first knockout stage game in 11 years. And Bayern Munich also had 0 shots on target against Lazio, 1 shot on target against Leverkusen. They were well beaten and outplayed in both games. When Bayern loses one game, it's a crisis. But when they lose 2 games in a row while playing awful football, then it's an absolute overdrive. They are called FC Hollywood in Germany for a reason. And Leverkusen are a different club. They are used to recycling players, coaches, and they are built like that. They sell players, they sign young players, and they rebuild and go again. So the idea of Alonso potentially moving on is not a huge story in Germany. It is just expected that he will do good things at Leverkusen and then move on up the ladder to a bigger club. And yes, there is a crisis at Bayern Munich, so there is the danger that Bayern Munich would be targeting Xabi Alonso as their best next manager. But it's a little bit overstated, the idea that Bayern just plunder every other club in the Bundesliga for players or coaches. The idea of what Bayern are heading into is still a little bit undetermined. There are problems at that club and there are better options on the horizon. For Xabi Alonso, who is probably the hottest, highest rated manager in terms of young up-and-coming managers in world football. So he can pick and choose which project he chooses next. And I think right now, Bayern are in a bit of a mess. At Liverpool, there is a lot of stability and also a great project that Xabi Alonso could take over from Jurgen Klopp and drive Liverpool forward and achieve even more success. And also for Xabi Alonso, it might be less appealing to go to Bayern Munich after he wins the Bundesliga with Leverkusen. He maybe wins the German Cup with Leverkusen. I mean, why don't go to Bayern Munich and you can just do the same with them? Whether at Liverpool, you could go at different competitions. You could go at the Premier League, League Cup, FA Cup, and also the Champions League. And right now, I think Liverpool are better equipped to win the Champions League, weirdly, than Bayern Munich, even though Liverpool are not in the Champions League and Bayern Munich still are in the Champions League. But we just have we are in better form right now, and hopefully that will continue until the end of the season. From a technical perspective, there is no doubt that Liverpool have a lot of brilliant players that Xabi Alonso would love to work with, would like to use. The most pronounced dynamic in his Leverkusen team is the relationship between the two wingbacks. Depending on the system used, you have Jeremy Frimpong bombing up and down the right as a right winger sometimes. He's pushed very, very high, sometimes the furthest man forward. And you have Alex Grimaldo playing a bit more of a considered playmaking role. You have internal playmakers who are very gifted technical footballers, like Xhaka and Palacios and other players, Florian Wirtz as well, playing as a false 9 sometimes, or just off the striker. Clearly Liverpool have plenty of those kind of profile of players, and then forwards who can score goals and also can create and do some of that in playmaking. But also Leverkusen is different to Liverpool. There is a lot less media scrutiny. It's not a club in the spotlight as much as Borussia Dortmund or Bayern Munich or as much as Liverpool are. And also Xabi Alonso has that big aura that is necessary for him coming in and saying to Virgil van Dijk, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Mo Salah, stay at Liverpool and let's go again. Let's win more trophies. Let's write another beautiful chapter in the history of Liverpool Football Club. And also, Xabi Alonso is a player that a lot of Liverpool players already watched on TV. Thiago also played alongside Xabi Alonso at Bayern Munich, and it was actually Xabi Alonso who told Thiago to go to Liverpool. It feels like he is a personality who would quietly command the dressing room because of who he is and what he has achieved as a player. He has won absolutely everything in club football, including the World Cup with Spain. It might not be as full throttle heavy metal football. It might be a more controlled, more possession-based style of play under Xabi Alonso. But the most important thing is if Liverpool keep being competitive and keep being successful, that's what most Liverpool fans want. They would accept a slightly different style of football because every manager should implement their own style of play. And Simon Hughes also says that what's also fascinating about Xabi Alonso's personality is he uses fewer words to make his points, which comes across as being more decisive, and he's not an egotist like many other managers are. I think that's because he has got the medals to prove that he was a very good player, so there's no self-doubt there. It doesn't have to prove anything to anyone. But I did notice last time I met him when he first became a coach, he was a lot more succinct in what he was saying, a lot more deliberate. I think you would see that on the football pitch, whether it be on the training ground or in the matches. So I just hope that Liverpool will appoint Xabi Alonso as our next manager, because I think, as the headline says, he ticks all the boxes for what the next Liverpool manager should be. And thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.